Everyone, happy Saturday, August 12th. In this video, I'm just gonna do a walkthrough of the recent workflow that I did with Nick Pardo of Coefficient, who is referred to me by Aaron Kornblit of Webflow, formerly Airtable. Thank you guys, and just demonstrate how we took this spreadsheet and put it into an Airtable base, and then pushed it into this Webflow website with a tool called Whalesync. So, brief overview. Every year, YETI hosts 80 to 100 events around the globe, and they needed a way for C-suite to easily see financial data as well as current, past, and future events. So another crew called Swift Current Events manages all those events. They're the ones that do all the input of this data. So they needed a way to easily input data and then also create itineraries for each event and then field reports for each event. It's like a recap of what happened. So they would start their workflow here in this spreadsheet. When they'd fill out an event, they'd have to make this sheet for their run of show, which is the itinerary, and then copy and paste all sorts of data here. So needless to say, poor workflow, lots of room for error. So Nick Pardo and I took that data, moved it into Airtable, and all of the data now is entered through a form. It's very easy, and then it can be sorted and filtered by quarter, cities, communities, and then different levels of permission and views are created for C-suite and on down. But they also needed a way for event staff on the ground just to easily see distilled information and use it to connect with people, set up activation, and figure out where everything needed to be, kind of logistics. So that data is presented here in the Webflow site. So I've created Grazing is Great. This is an example of a record in Airtable that is filled out, and it has links to community, staff, events, trucks, etc. Makes inputting the data very easy and a lot harder to mess up. Auto calculates costs, event brief, here's the websites, some basic info. So all of this data here, Grazing is Great, then goes through Whalesync. So these are the tables that I have in Whalesync. These are all different CMS collections in Webflow. And this event table here, these are the fields. So there are, let's see, 53 out of 81 fields mapped for this particular use case. I'm going to turn this back on and let it sync up. So let me go back here. So this Grazing is Great data, this record, all of this information is then pushed into this site, which is built with Webflow memberships. So they have to create an account and sign up. And then this CMS collection here uses FinSuite CMS filter and sort. So I can, sort by name, I can sort by city, dates, whatever. That this input field will take all of that. Or community, ascending, descending, event date, ascending, descending. Clear that. Or I can just see specific communities to help me quickly find information. So we're going to take a look at this Grazing is Great one. I'm going to open up the event details, and the data that you're going to see here is what is reflected in the Airtable data, except in kind of a nice web format. So here are our contacts. You can see it's all me. Here is the event venue, their website, booth number. Run of show is the itinerary that staff would need to look at and review prior to the show. And then once the run of show and the event has been completed, They fill out a field report, and I'll go back to the field reports. So grazing is great. They just go through and fill out this form here. And this actually is a form that they just input data. But if I change any one of these, then conditional logic changes it here. And I bet you if we do YETI brand awareness score, change that to 4, we can see YETI brand awareness score is a 1 right now, so we'll let that sync up. And while we're doing that, I'll talk about the current. So the current are blog posts that they use. I'll go back up here. The current is a way for them to just kind of do a quick recap of the event for people that don't need to see any of the minor details. They just kind of want to have a basic understanding of what happened. So this one is created here in Notion and uses Whalesync to push it into the Webflow site. So let's go back here, and this is a 1. We changed it to a 4. I'm going to refresh the site. We're going to open that up, and you can see now YETI brand awareness score is a 4. So this is a great way for staff to and C-suite to get a recap of what happened, see attachments. Beyond that, the site has a staff directory. I'm not going to show you that because it has sensitive information, a map, and this is Airtable data that is pushed into no-code map app, and they use this as kind of a way to figure out where they need to host more events. So obviously Midwest, Pacific Northwest is kind of slim, Europe, Africa. They have a calendar that they can view, and this is just an embed from Airtable. And then again, list of all the events. So that is just a recap of what we created, and it has saved YETI and Swift Current Events countless hours this year already, which is going to equate to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's been just an incredible project to work on. So if you guys have any more questions, hit me up. I'd be happy to discuss further. And I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.